In the blink of an eye, we're back at it again. The weekend's over. We're starting off another week, and this is, although it's not the last full week in June, it is the last week of June, and the 4th of July weekend is just about upon us. We'll go over your list of activities and festivities for Sagersville, and then we'll talk about some others for the viewing area throughout the week. We'll begin in just a few moments by talking about a friend of mine who, at this moment, if you're watching the 6 o'clock program, I suspect is still in surgery, but making headlines this evening. We'll talk about a police chase that's got some unusual circumstances surrounded therein. In McGoffin County, a man ultimately tased 3 times before being taken into custody after leading city and county officials on a pursuit throughout the downtown and adjacent area of Sagersville over the course of the weekend. A couple of cold fronts starting off the week on a bumpy note, but it's going to clear up and cool off, and then we'll talk about your holiday weekend forecast after that, and much more news to try to work into the program. A couple of shootings, sadly, tonight making the headlines. One in neighboring Breathitt County where a man is dead, others are injured. The injuries fatal to the male at the hands of his wife, according to the Kentucky State Police. They've identified the shooter as Sandra Hurt. They say that not only did she shoot her husband, she also shot her son and another female at their home in Jackson. Authorities first learned of the entire situation when they received a report about 2 gunshot victims who were brought into the emergency room, and then when they followed up on the investigation and went to the Hurt's residence, there they found the husband dead from apparent gunshot wounds, a female unresponsive. Since the investigation and the time since, the Breathitt County Coroner's Department has identified the deceased as 47-year-old Michael Hurt. His wife, Sandra, was believed to be the shooter. She was also the one found unresponsive in the residence. At last report, she was still alive. Her injuries to the extent unknown at this hour, but she was taken to the UK Medical Center. As of right now, authorities are expecting to charge her at some point with a count of murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, as well as charges of wanton endangerment in the case. Her son Alex and Heather Sizemore also both shot in the chest. They too were taken to the UK Medical Center for treatment. Their injuries too at this hour we are unsure of. We also know that actually Miss Hurt was taken to the Kentucky River Medical Center, and it was in the ICU at last report, but facing potential charges as a result. I got word of it early yesterday and was just absolutely stunned and floored and a bit terrified as well. And first thing this morning, left for the UK Medical Center myself to check on a friend of mine who I've known for a few years, the likes of which his work, at least, you've seen on this program and on a national scale as well, as he is very well known in the music industry by a whole lot of folks. I came to know Coleman Bear Saunders a couple of years ago when he was first introduced to me while he was shooting a country music video for Kyle Green here in Sagersville, the video of which we followed. We showed you some of the making and some of Coleman's work, and since then we kind of hit it off. Due to the fact that, of course, it was just a super cool job that he was doing, and I got to kind of sit in the backgrounds and watch, and also because I think, like myself, he was basically untrained and self-taught, and we spoke of cameras and equipment and the industry and hit it off. And from what I can tell you this evening, he was returning from a friend's party, a residence. He got in a cab, an Uber there and a cab back, and shortly after getting out of his cab early Sunday morning, Saturday night, he was approached by 3 black males, as he told police, who robbed him of the cash in his wallet as well as his cell phone. And in the process, they shot him 3 times. At least one of the men shot him a total of 3 times. They drug him into either a wooded area or brushy area and left him for dead. He was able to crawl back to the roadway, flagged down someone, and was taken to the UK Medical Center, where initially he was in pretty good condition, able to give authorities a description of what happened. However, his condition quickly deteriorated to the point that he had emergency surgery with more follow-up surgeries to happen today. I left shortly before his scheduled 3 o'clock surgery. He was shot in the arm, but more importantly, if that's the correct word, he was shot in the chest at least once. Several organs were struck. It was a life-threatening injury. He was in critical but stable condition prior to the surgery, and from what I understand, he's still not out at the 6 o'clock hour. As far as the crime, we know that the authorities are investigating, and his mother tells me that they believe that they were close to maybe an arrest in the case. They were able to interview Coleman, take his personal effects, and find out more information for them to conduct their investigation. His company is called America's Film, and with Kyle Douglas here, we've also been around as he has filmed several music videos for Sunday Best, Home, Four Door, many others, and a whole lot of other big names. J.D. Shelburne, one of those. Most recently, we spent a few days here in Sagersville, he did, on a shoot for The Triplets. That music video I don't think has been released as of yet, but in all of his videos, you'll see either some cars, some faces, some scenery. Not all of his videos. Many of his videos, bits of eastern Kentucky. He loves it here in Magoffin County and in Floyd County as well, which of course is the native home of Sunday Best. And you'll find a bit of their friends and family in a lot of his work. He has a great professional eye, a great creative energy, and to be self-taught, he has made a very good name for himself in the industry and is respected by all who he works with. And we wanted everyone to be aware of the situation tonight because he has made a lot of friends here in the area. For example, Ernie Puckett's Chevrolet there in the background was used in the background. Les Stapleton, the mayor of Paintsville, his Mustang, and of course a whole lot of other familiar things that you'll see in his work. Nevertheless, the investigation does continue. There is also a GoFundMe account that has been established in his name, as he is self-employed. Like many self-employed individuals, he doesn't have any insurance to cover what is going to be an amazing cost, I'm sure, of his medical care. Right now, we're just hoping our friend the best and hoping that he recovers from his injuries. A senseless and violent act that netted the suspects a few dollars in cash and a cell phone. While that was where I spent much of my day, I did, however, over the course of the weekend, spend some time following up another top headline for this evening, that the police pursuit of a Magoffin County man who is still in jail on a $25,000 cash bond as of airtime. I'll have that report after these messages. To get high-speed internet on their state-of-the-art fiber optic network for all of your home and business solutions, or to watch TV without a contract on over 200 digital channels with superb quality, or stay connected with family and friends with 24/7 telephone service you can always depend on, contact Foothills Broadband today. Or just click on their link to the right to find out how they're working to provide the latest in communications at affordable prices with exceptional service at Foothills Broadband. The presence of Magoffin County Sheriff's Deputy Neil Adams in the Ramey Park over the course of the weekend for some unknown reason at this time appears to have set off a Magoffin County man and set off a chain of events that led police through a crowded Ramey Park and the city streets of Sagersville in a pursuit that would finally net the arrest of a Magoffin County man identified as 27-year-old Blake Minix after he was stopped on Parkway Drive.
Pulled down into the park. Subject was sitting over in a red truck. Subject took off and started actually making laps around the park at what I would consider a high rate of speed, because of other people being down there and stuff. I got behind the subject. He pulled up onto the main road, turned up toward Dixie, which he failed to give a right-hand turn signal. Also failed to stop the stop sign. I got behind the subject, activated my emergency equipment. Subject kept going. As he was driving, he was flipping me the bird out the window. He just refused to stop. So actually it's turned into a pursuit. Subject come out of Dixie up Parkway Drive, where he actually went up Parkway Drive at a high rate of speed, and we finally got him to stop. Probably after, I would say, I'd say it was a 2-mile pursuit altogether. Subject pulled in, jumped out of the vehicle, started throwing his hands up, acting like he wanted to fight, at which time we were able to take the subject into custody.
The pursuit also involved the suspect being tased 3 separate times and a civilian who helped slow him down in an effort to let police catch him. During the initial event in the Ramey Park, Magoffin County Sheriff's Deputy Reggie Gosser told me on scene that he deployed his taser through the driver's side window and struck Minix, but he had to release when the suspect, Blake Minix, floored the truck, and it looked as though he was headed towards a crowded Ramey pool. During the pursuit on Parkway Drive, a motorist in a white pickup truck is credited for seeing police pursuing Minix in his rearview mirror and not letting Minix pass him until police could catch up and try to block him in. And once stopped when Minix got out of his truck and, as Adams put it, looked as though he was taunting or initiating an altercation, Sagersville police officer Blake Isaac deployed his taser, and on the second cycle, Minix went to the ground and they were able to arrest him. He was lodged in the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center, made a court appearance this morning. Judge Dennis Prater ordered he be held on a $25,000 cash bond on charges of DUI, reckless driving, disorderly conduct in the second degree, resisting arrest, fleeing or evading police in the first degree, wanton endangerment of a police officer, wanton endangerment, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of an open alcoholic container, no turn signal, and disregarding a stop sign. His next court appearance has been set for July the 6th. Deputy Reggie Gosser also told me on scene that he believes that Minix's truck is the same truck that he lost in a police pursuit just a couple of weeks ago when he attempted to make a traffic stop on that vehicle in the Oakley area, when the driver failed to stop and then led authorities into the Tip-Top area and on the strip job where the driver lost them on a dusty, darkened road, and police had to give up pursuit. I'll be right back. Up next, I've got, as I always do every night, your McGoffin County Farm Bureau-sponsored community calendar with tonight's beginning with a few special wishes. Actually, one of those special wishes is a birthday wish for tomorrow. I better hold on to that one. But for tonight, a happy second anniversary wish to David and Charlotte Johnson, celebrating 2 years today. Happy anniversary. It started tonight, but you've got the rest of the week to take in Vacation Bible School at Hope in the Cross Community Church, 6 to 8:30 nightly. They're on Burning Fork, and they hope your young people will join them. A relatively, as you can see, brief community calendar for tonight. I do have an agenda in front of me and in my hand for the Sagersville City Council meeting, which is set for this evening at 7. You still have time to take it in if you desire to be a member of the audience. If not, you can catch the coverage on tomorrow night's program. These announcements brought to you by the McGoffin County Funeral Home, with funeral services to be announced, my apologies, in honor of 91-year-old James Franklin Blair of Paintsville, who passed away on yesterday's date, married to Mabel Owens Blair, who preceded him in death. Visitation has been set for tomorrow after 6 and prior to Wednesday's services that will start at 1 o'clock. Both visitation and services from the McGoffin County Funeral Home, with burial following at the Owens Family Cemetery at Lick Creek. Once again in honor of 91-year-old James Franklin Blair of Paintsville. Ina Jean Prater Nelson, 74 of Martin, passed away on the 25th. She survived by her children David Nelson, Susie Bradford, Maria Goodman, Anthony Nelson, and Veronica Little. Veronica Little, a McGoffin County 911 dispatcher who lives here in the county, with visitations set for tomorrow after 5 at the Hall Funeral Home in Martin, and a celebration of her life taking place at the Hall Funeral Home beginning Wednesday at 1, with entombment at the Johnson Family Cemetery. While we're still on the topic of announcements, I have just in from Sagersville City Hall your list of festivities for the upcoming 4th of July holiday. Can you believe the 4th of July is indeed already here? Well, it is, and in Sagersville, it officially gets underway this Friday evening with the annual and traditional Watermelon Social with live entertainment in the Ramey Park, 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock Friday evening. It's always a wonderful evening, a lot of entertainment, a lot of free watermelon, and a great venue to just come out and relax during a holiday weekend. That's not something you get to do very often. Most holidays don't entail much relaxing for a lot of us. So the Watermelon Social this Friday, 7 till 9. And then Saturday, things start to crank up with the parade that will start around 1 o'clock. The lineup, as is customary, at the funeral home and at Joy Global on 114 on Parkway Drive. The downtown streets will be blocked off at 12:30. There is going to be a street dance. It is going to be under the red light, as they have brought that tradition back, and it will begin at 8 o'clock. And fireworks will be set off they're going back up on top of the hill by the water tower this year. And just as soon as it gets good and dusk, or close to dark, the fireworks will begin. So parade at 1, street dance at 8, fireworks at dusk and or dark. All brought to you by the city of Sagersville. And we'll talk more about the 4th of July later on in the week. For tonight, I've got 79 degrees right now in Holding at the studio here in downtown Sagersville, and I've got a radar that shows still some light showers passing through the area. And in fact, tonight we've got I think it's going to go down to about a 30% chance of some scattered showers. Not too many thunderstorms expected, but a few more light showers to pass through. This is one of a couple of cold fronts that's making its way into the forecast this week. Today one, tomorrow another. Some patchy fog after 4 a.m. tonight. Will be alongside nighttime lows of around 66 degrees. And tomorrow, another cold front, but this one doesn't have as much to say about any wet weather. And in fact, I think 84 degrees and mostly sunny, partly cloudy. But you'll see the cooler air on the back side of it. Yeah, partly or mostly sunny, on your Tuesday, and mostly sunny again on your Wednesday. And back to the 70s will fall. And that's where we are now, and that's going to be our daytime high. It's going to be sunny and clear and gorgeous and mild, but 78 and 57 on your midweek. And that's where we will bottom out temperature-wise. We'll start to climb back up that ladder on Thursday with sunny, 82, a low of 60. We'll see clear skies start to finish on your Thursday. A little fog at the end of your Thursday into your Friday morning as well, with temperatures still in the low 80s at the end of the work week. And I say that a lot, and I know that doesn't include everyone, as a lot of folks are working right on through the weekend. But 84, sunny, with a little fog at the onset for your Friday. Low 60s for nighttime lows under partly cloudy skies. Just in time for the holiday weekend, that nice, clear, mild pattern takes a turn. And right now, Saturday, we see mostly cloudy skies, a 40%, and actually increasing to a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms by Saturday night with a low of 64. And then Sunday, a 30% chance of some lingering showers and thunderstorms with daytime highs as another cold front comes Sunday right around the 80-degree mark. And then Independence Day, I'm hoping for a clear and relatively mild day temperature-wise. Saturday night, just a little bit concerning for me with the threat of some showers and storms, but I'm not going to fret too much because it's a long way away. Well, that's going to wrap up the show for tonight. It's not wrapping up my evening. The Sagersville City Council meets in session tonight at 7, as well as some other headlines we're already working on for tomorrow's program. We hope to see you then. We'll talk more about the 4th of July and other breaking and exclusive reports on tomorrow's show. Thank you for watching this one, and hope to see you next time. Good night.